Dr. Jose V. Camacho Jr. was elected by the UP Board of Regents as the 10th Chancellor of UPLB at its 1,354th meeting on September 24, 2020. Dr. Camacho was the Dean of the UPLB Graduate School and is a Professor of Economics at the College of Economics and Management. Chancellor Camacho's vision of future-proofing UPLB is about sustaining UPLB's relevance by developing methods, approaches, and frameworks to minimize the cost and impacts of shocks of future events. He envisions a future-proof UPLB as it levels up its recognition as one of the leading regional and global universities, regardless of the mode of delivery of its services. Chancellor Camacho emphasizes the need to future-proof UPLB's human resources, lifelong learning and instruction system, research and innovation system, commitment to public good and social welfare, and global engagement. To give us the opening remarks in this UPLB Graduate School Hooding and Recognition Ceremonies, let us all welcome Chancellor Jose V. Camacho Jr.
A warm and wonderful welcome to all of our program attendees today. I am happy to see all of you and happier still to be addressing you on this exceptional occasion. Allow me to begin by congratulating all of you. You have done it. You kept going despite the stress, the difficulties, the obstacles, even through the global pandemic that has disrupted so much of what was once our normal lives. And you have emerged victorious to rightfully and deservedly claim your graduate or doctorate degree. At the end of today's ceremony, you will have the right to add 2 or 3 letters to your name that mark you as an expert in your chosen field of your studies, and the corresponding responsibility to wield such expertise in just and a proper manner. It is not an exaggeration to say that you have gained knowledge that, properly applied, can change lives, develop communities, even alter the path and the future of entire countries. Your time at UPLB has hopefully given you the insight on how that knowledge can be of best use in service to the public for the betterment and benefit of all. Indeed, it is my hope that your time here has broadened your perspective and rekindled your drive, for you are not fresh-faced graduates, but older and wiser individuals, aware of some of life's harsher realities. You know the burden of responsibility, the fleetingness of time, the difficulties that one faces should they attempt to effect real and lasting change to society. At the same time, you also know the power of collective action, the benefits of proper planning, the value of determination and hard work, and the fact that the world could always use a little more kindness and compassion. UPLB looks forward to seeing how you will continue to grow, and we hope that you will return to us as partners for community development, scientific collaboration, and nation building. Remember this, you are more powerful, more knowledgeable, and more capable than you realize. So, reach out, change the lives of others for the better. Use the resources you have and that ones we have given you to brighten the world and hopefully live it better than you found it. Nasa inyong mga kamay ang kapangyarihan at ang pagkakataong ilatag ang kinabukasan ng ating bayan. Palaging mabuhay ng may dangal at husay. Padayon, Class 2021.
Chancellor Camacho, I have the honor to present the candidates for graduation from the UPLB Graduate School for academic year 2020-2021.
Our guest speaker is a professor of economics at the Institute of Management at UP Baguio, whose major research interest and advocacy is the improvement of the quality of education and protection of the environment. She obtained 3 degrees from UPLB, namely Bachelor of Science in Agricultural Economics, major in Finance, Master of Science in Agricultural Economics, major in Marketing, and Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Economics, major in Natural Resource Economics. In 1997, she received not only her doctoralhood, but also the Best Dissertation Award from UPLB. She also holds a Master of Arts in Economics degree with major in Environmental Economics from UP Diliman. After serving as research assistant at the Department of Agriculture for more than 5 years, the vibrant and talented daughter of Lipa City worked as research assistant at the International Rice Research Institute for 3 years. She then returned to the Department of Agriculture as a senior research specialist. She then worked as a project officer and economist at the UNDP International Maritime Organization Program for 5 years, as Dean of the Graduate School, and then as Vice Chancellor for Academics and Research. In 2010, with her 2 kids and her husband, whom she refers to as a gentleman from Benguet, she joined UP Baguio, where she served in succession as Director of the Institute of Management, Director of Student Affairs, and Vice Chancellor for Academic Affairs. She was a recipient of multiple international publication awards, a UP Scientist Award, the Extra Mile Award for Education given by the USAID Synergia, the Asia Excellence Award for Educational Leadership by CMO in Singapore, among many others. A dynamic leader with excellent managerial skills in higher education, a passionate teacher with sustained scholarship in multidisciplinary research, and a devoted servant of the community, she exemplifies an ideal UP graduate, marangal, mahusay, at makabayan. Let us all welcome our guest speaker, the 3rd and current Chancellor of UP Baguio, Professor Corazon Lumbera Abansi.
Magandang araw sa ating lahat. I begin with gratitude to UPLB and most especially to the Graduate School for the honor and pride of being your guest speaker in this virtual hooding and recognition ceremonies. You made it to the end of a long, arduous journey. Your graduate school life has been like a long hike through the mountains, with crests and valleys resembling your peaks and troughs. Sometimes you see your destination clearly. Sometimes it is shrouded in thick, impenetrable fog like the ones we have in UP Baguio every day. Nevertheless, you finally arrive with another pinnacle in your life's journey. In many ways, this day feels like a return to familiar ground. My time as a graduate student at UPLB, under the inspired supervision of the best agricultural economist, a time that was personally rewarding and career-defining. My student days at UPLB offered me the precious opportunity to challenge and deepen my understanding of the discipline I have chosen and its applications. They also provided the space and time to broaden my intellectual horizons, allowing me to read voraciously and widely, and to interact with stimulating and diverse groups of people, the faculty, staff, and students from across the country and around the globe. What I learned then has served me well, and I wish the same to you. Without question, my education and experience have been invaluable in shaping my understanding of the importance of my discipline in addressing the issues and problems of our society, and this became more profound when I worked collectively with other disciplines. I am sure many of us who graduated from UPLB share this feeling. And why is this so? UPLB graduates and researchers have significantly contributed to human knowledge and to fundamental shifts in how we understand our country and the world. We came from a university that has responded to the challenges through the discovery and creation of new and game-changing ideas and technologies. UPLB alumni have turned science discoveries into widespread economic benefit. Building on that legacy is an awe and inspiring gift and challenge. So go out into the world and become leaders of science and technology, of arts, of humanities, and work for a better society. UPLB is a thriving institution with relevant graduate programs and professional courses. And yet, it is good to be reminded every now and then of the elements that make this place unique. One of them is the deep-rooted sense of community that binds the university together. There is this uncompromising commitment to excellence in education, research, and public service, enshrined in the university's mission statement and lived out in practice every day in our libraries and laboratories, lecture halls and classrooms, in our sports fields, and lately in our virtual learning environment. Every generation has believed that it faces unprecedented difficulties, enduring perils that its forebears could not have imagined. I would never assert that the current generation faces challenges greater than at any time before. That would be a historical in the extreme. But I am convinced that the challenges today are more complex and certainly affect all of us more immediately. For instance, the urgent dilemma posed by the COVID-19 pandemic has caused a momentary stop in the way we live and separates us in many ways we never imagined before. But we can do something to help people thrive in this difficult time. Consider the problems of global food security in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous environment. Tackling them requires the combined efforts of experts from various disciplines collaboratively developing tools to predict future demands for energy, land, and water. It requires plant scientists and veterinary scientists collaborating with colleagues across the world to improve crop yields and livestock resilience to diseases. It requires researchers in the humanities and social sciences analyzing the political economy of food supply and evaluating the role of political structures in the production and distribution of food. It requires greater understanding of the regulatory frameworks of land ownership or the economics of changes in land use. I see it as part of your mission now, after graduation, to actively involve in programs and projects that confront issues like this and work across the borders of nations and across the boundaries of academic disciplines. I am sure UPLB Graduate School has prepared you to deal with newly emerging questions and issues. With the breadth and depth of expertise you have developed from your graduate programs, you can take a global lead where areas of knowledge are unpacked and broken down, and where global collaborations are seeded and nurtured. Yet another UPLB asset, and this one is essential, is strong leadership over the generations. I surmise that many of you are in position of leadership in your institution or will soon assume leadership roles. What will make you a relevant leader in the new normal is not only your philosophy of leadership, nor your personality or style, but your internal action logic. How you interpret your surroundings, the issues, challenges, and opportunities, and how you react to these, especially when your authority and the power that goes with it are challenged. Your ability to choose how you construct meaning from experience will determine the lenses from which you see this VUCA world and how you react in return. Very important for leaders to have insight, hindsight, and foresight, and to move from slow thinking to fast, but reflective and agile thinking and decision-making. You can be a diplomat, bringing people together, or an opportunist when you take advantage of situations and people to realize your goals. In many cases, you are an expert leading by logic and expertise and seeking rational efficiency. Ultimately, you aspire to be a strategist, generating institutional and personal transformations, exercising the power of mutual inquiry and vigilance. Using these action logics in the correct combination at the right time develops the bridging leader in you. In these unpredictable times, discerning what is next will likely require calculated speculation and deliberate risk-taking to navigate the uncharted frontier ahead. A bridging leader can foster ownership, co-ownership, and co-creation so that the fullest contribution of stakeholders is tapped by helping them come across divides. I conclude by emphasizing that whether you take on an expert's role or a leadership role, we inherited from UPLB a deeply ingrained sense of service to a wider community, a clear set of principles, an obligation to offer one's best, a refusal to accept the easy or the expedient path, a duty to truth, honor, and excellence. While our profession and passion might change throughout our career, we are guided by the life lessons from the education we got from our beloved UPLB. Do not forget to give back to our alma mater and give back better. Congratulations and Godspeed.
Candidates for graduation for master's degrees. For the degree Master of Agriculture in Agronomy, Alice Teta Congo. For the degree Master in Public Affairs in Education Management, Christian Dalun Banal. Renel Villarama Caray. Camille San Diego Caramay. Mary Jane Francisco Gallardo. John Christian Yatko Lara. Alfredo Pertes Nabor Jr. Levelyn Go Nabor. Roseanne Ortega Torres. Patricia Maris Hilao Valencia. In Strategic Planning and Policy Studies, Maria Larue Escobin Valespin. Cecinio Tavales Belen Jr. John Ray Agus Quillone. Jorge Manuel Cortez Laude. Apple May Cortez Panizales. Charmaine Joyce Villanueva Sasi. For the degree Master of Development Management and Governance, Joan Almare Cajes. Revian Grace Zuniga Holombayan. John Kersey Placido Legaspi. Jessa Pearl Cabrera Manalo. Pauline Lainet Averyon Masumsong. Chris Joven Mista Medalya. Herbert Kaagbay Molinyawe. Daniel Jasmine Lanzanas Quiros. Edison Isano Huico. For the degree Master of Information Technology, Christian De Jesus Dionisio. Ricky Lee Bosita Menjola. Mark Wency Pahe Yambao. For the degree Master of Management in Agribusiness Management and Entrepreneurship, Kathleen Lapitan Tamisin. In Business Management, Winston Bautista Alcalde. Sheila Marie Salgado Calderon. Alexandria Camille Miguel Castillo. Mary Noemi Cruz Corrales. Kenneth Christian Andaya Corrup. Mark Anthony Fresnido Garcia. Zaide Villanueva Hernandez. Ray Chino Katagatan Pua. Angelique Marasigan Reglos. Jaislyn Siokson Salvamante. For the degree Master of Arts in Communication Arts, Christine Ann Contemplacion Corsega. Joseph Brian Juanata Halaga. In Sociology, Samantha Geraldine Gutierrez de los Santos. John Patrick Johannes Habacon. For the degree Master of Science in Agricultural Chemistry, Florence Zeke de Juan. In Agricultural Economics, Hector Brian Pamanian Grama. April Easter Sunday, Jaime Dakigan Manuel. In Agricultural Engineering, Salvacion Napud Christi. Cristel Marie Santos de la Cruz. Jose Carlo Romen Dizon. Filio. Elbert Mores Garcia. Clarissa Iliana Labadia Ilyao. Honeybee Samiliano Limbaro. Jovelyn Ligod Valencia. In Agronomy, Renelaine Estenor Limosinero. Caterina Mojica Vargas. In Animal Science, Angelica Pineda Maderse. Kevin Roland Albufera Maranar. Babylin Alday Moong. Rafael Barun Nepomuceno. Adelia Gapira Putri. Fort Henry Paralag Talu. Seth Vincent Matias Valdez. In Applied Nutrition, Ann Carriedo Cayetano. Pat Sovani. In Biochemistry, Laster May Nobleza Serrano. In Botany, Khalida Banu. Catherine May Largado Matias. In Chemical Engineering, Eros Paul Valera Estante. Marco Leo Vega Gueta. Rona Joyce Manaag Landoy. Ana Elaine Delfinado Matanggihan. pagdanganan. In chemistry, Rabi Flores Cangleon. Edicil Lee Ontolan Salang. Mormi Joseph Felipe Sarno. In community development, Kimberly Joy Arguelles Ilaga. In computer science, Jairon Panjalan Sarosa. Catherine Loren Mejia Tan. Russell Lazaro Villacarlos. In development communication, Maria Victoria Manyalak Almazan. Shara Jane Harencio Miranda. In development management and governance, Iris Joy Mendoza Insyong. In economics, Veronica Icaro Castillo. Brian Jason Habong Ponce. In entomology, Anthony Sazon Agravante. Kathleen Tasipit Dizon. PJ Almonte Rehuso. In environmental science, Christine Suarez Banalo. Rainiel Brian Villanueva Domasian. Jeffrey Andrew De Leon Losdoso. Arian Templo Nuevo Manlangin. Pauline Manalad Manzanilla. Richel Mantong Merencillo. Paulo Casal Tirol. Roxanne Ray Lomarda Valdez Tamon. Estelia Paway Valiente. Mabel Gabiola Ballena. Ashemir Boticario Velasco. In Extension Education, Kan Kanamalage Aruni Sriyani Tilakaratna. In Family Resource Management, Eileen Rose Borromeo Lanaka. In Food Science, Iris Joy Villanueva Abrigo. Maria Cristina Romabiles Ilano. Cristel June de Masuhit Sartagoda. In Forestry, Forest Resources Management, Anne Frances Venezuela Buhay. Marnega Origenes. In Forestry, Silviculture and Forest Influences, Michael Banaag Bigelme. Manilyn Aloro Kamutuhan. William Melendres Esquera. Joel Onyebuchi Eze. Maria Army Janica Pasahol Ramirez. In Forestry, Food Science and Technology, Oliver Segundo Marasigan. James Edelbert Carillo Ramos. J. Rick Fuentes Villarreal. In Genetics, Rochelle Escobin Alcacid. Jan Pauline Marcelo Gabriel. Ann Elaine de los Santos, Wagan. In horticulture, Hannah Ronduen Azogue. Angelico Ortiz San Pascual. In mathematics, Kenneth Joshua Pantelion Sardan. In microbiology, Julius Aaron Paningbatan Mejia. Loribel de Auna Queribin. In molecular biology and biotechnology, Jude Carlo Garcia Bolivar. Maria Hana Santa Catalina Halcon. Loriel Sanchez Macale. Lorabel de Auna Querubin. Sheila May Oquillas Sagusay. Darwin Dagomboy Velarde. In natural resources conservation, Nicole Maxine Elaco Apolinario. Renz Marion Belmonte Gamido. Heidi Jokno Pabalate. In plant breeding, Kamal Bataray. Mika Beniz Samsam Gregorio. Corinne Mira Mauricio Marfori Nazarea. Graciela Borela Oquillas. In plant genetic resources conservation and management, Jess Brian Mier Alvarino. Ison Ambag Kalimpang. In plant pathology, Charles Areza Castro. Kylo. Jeremy Roy Augustus Insular Gomez. Christine Clapero Gonzaga. Eileen Torres Makay. Ira Flores Wahe. In Soil Science, Mary Rose Layos Echeverria. Rosel Estera Madayag. Leandro Dahay Ocasyon. John Lester Iscara Pide. Florinda Cagas Tiuan. In Statistics, Nodelio Ortiz Bantil. Charina Crisel de la Cruz Tingson. In Veterinary Medicine, Sandy Ling Chu. Rachel Sia Contillo. Monica Nablo Gonzalez. Jeneline Tiberio Paredes. Karen Chel Romero Santos. Randolph Bautista Tolentino. In Wildlife Studies, Carme Irene Igot Pelone. Frances May Bartolome Tenorio. In Zoology, Pretzelhane Mohoylan Olor.
So I'm proud to present the MS Programs Academic Awardees for 2020-2021. These students are, for the Academic Excellence Award, Rona Joyce Banaag Landoy, MS Chemical Engineering. Academic Achievement Award, Eros Paul Valera Estante, MS Chemical Engineering. Academic Achievement Award,
Kathleen Tasipit Dizon, MS Entomology. Academic Achievement Award, Nodelio Ortiz Bantillo, MS Statistics. Academic Achievement Award, PJ Almonte Recuso, MS Entomology. Academic Achievement Award, Rosel Estera Madayag, MS Soil Science. So congratulations to all the academic MS awardees.
The candidates for graduation for doctoral degrees. For the degree Doctor of Philosophy in Agricultural Economics,
Emily Gloria Pelicano.
in Agricultural Education,
Tessa Mar Llamas Espino.
in Agronomy,
Angeli Rose Leyes Lumba.
Jason Osopelia Villamor.
in Animal Science,
Manuel Datig Gakutan Jr. Michaelito Aquino Naldo. Josephine Nisnisan Nocon.
Yonilo Balais Abella, Roxanne Gregorio de Gula Barrion, Benjamin Ruel Gamboa Marte,
in Biochemistry,
Yvonne Degay Bolayo.
in Botany,
Diana Panagiton Paguntalan.
Florence Roy Paclubar Salvania.
in Community Development,
Almira Guevara Magkawas.
In development communication,
Jonathan Vergara Gochuico. Maria Teresa Deligan Gochuico.
Samuel Ayudel Ojorumbe. Marife Ramos de Torres. Marcosa Cuelar Piso. Na Zhao.
in development studies,
Flor de Lis Balaod Dakuyan. Yume Huang, Zoraida Villanueva Amfer.
Lico Jason Cabrera Anastasio.
Ernesto Layson Bastida Jr. Luigi Lian.
in entomology,
Alde Manilen Joles. Valieres Gina Diana.
in environmental science,
Efren Laguda Linan. Emil John Calo Cabrera. Arnica Lorenzo de Guzman Mortillero. Rebecca Ginungtad Wangdale. Jabez Joshua Mabalay Flores.
In Extension Education,
Hirapuong Wong Satan.
in Forestry, Forest Resources Management,
Nerian Ramos Agodilla. Myla Yarena Niro.
in Forestry, Silviculture and Forest Influences,
Charlie Bumanglag Bati. Victor de Guzman Dizon Jr.
in Genetics,
Darius Noel Cruz Minyosa.
in Microbiology,
Lalaine Grace Mooring.
Batbatan Christopher Gulani.
in Soil Science,
Michelle Ann Magat Kalubaki.
in Statistics,
Lara Paul Abitona Eval.
for the degree Doctor of Philosophy by Research, in Agricultural Engineering,
Marie Rowena C. Tanghilut.
in Environmental Science,
Anthony Balugay Obligado.
in Forestry, Wood Science and Technology,
Juanito Peñaverde Jimenez Jr.
in Plant Breeding,
Florence Lasalita Sapico.
for the degree Straight Doctor of Philosophy, in Development Communication,
Roderico Ibar Aldiola.
it is an honor to present to you the Academic Achievement Awardees for PhD graduates of academic year 2020-2021. Academic Excellence Award, Roxanne Gregorio de Gula Barrion, PhD Animal Science. Academic Achievement Award, Ernesto Leison Bastida Jr., PhD Development Studies. Academic Achievement Award, Angeli Rose Leyes Lumba, PhD Agronomy. Diana Panaguiton Paguntalan, PhD Botany. Academic Achievement Award, Florence Joy Palikbar Salvania, PhD Botany. Congratulations!
This year, we departed from the tradition of having the top PhD graduate to give a valedictory address. We believe that the graduation stage is a democratic space where every graduate student has a chance to speak, to address their classmates, and at the same time, carry the message of the graduating class. Thus, we open the opportunity to be the student speaker in the graduate school recognition and hooding ceremonies by issuing a call for applicants for student speaker. We received 4 applications, 2 women, 2 men. Perhaps since it is the first time the GS did this, not many were keen to submit an application. We hope that next year, there will be more applicants. From these 4, the selection committee composed of the graduate school executives, the members of the Standing Committee on Student Progress, and the representatives of the Graduate School Student Council sat to view the applications and eventually choose the student speaker. The choice was based on the criteria posted in the call. Distinguished guests, candidates for graduation, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our student speaker from the PhD in Environmental Science program. He is a graduate of BA Sociology from the University of the Philippines, Los Baños in 2007 and Master of Environment and Natural Resources Management from the University of the Philippines Open University in 2006. A former barista, an environment and permaculture advocate, and soon-to-be Dr. Jabez Joshua Mabalay Flores.
I think it's safe to say that the road to my PhD degree is not what most people would expect it to be. You see, I started my professional career working behind the bar, operating the espresso machine, pouring latte art, and talking to strangers. For season 1 of my adult life, I wore an apron every day, and I was the small town's Gunther, the barista from the TV show Friends. It was an unlikely beginning for a career in science, but little did I know that a coffee shop would become the perfect backdrop for the story that was about to unfold. For context, I finished my BA in sociology in UPLB in 2007. At that time, I enjoyed doing research as I pretended to be a Nat Geo explorer every time we had fieldwork. While writing my thesis, I accidentally discovered that I had a natural talent for making coffee and sandwiches for my friends. And yes, that really happened, and that was a turning point in my life. Now, as a professional barista, I always wondered, how could I make my coffee taste even better than I knew how to? I get roasted coffee beans from a bag, and from that point, there's just so much that I can do to make my coffee taste better. My quest for delicious coffee literally got me digging in the soil for answers. This curiosity led me to enroll in an organic agriculture course in UPOU in 2012, and my eyes were open to the wonderful world of agriculture. And this would signal the start of season 2 of my journey. For the next few years, I found myself splitting time between my barista duties and my life as a part-time farmer and as a staff for a social enterprise. Though I didn't learn how to grow coffee per se, I did learn how to grow vegetables and design gardens and farms for several people. At this point in my life, I already knew that good food, not just coffee, begins with healthy soil and a healthy ecosystem. So I challenged myself to contribute in healing this dying planet. I ended up taking a master's degree in Environment and Natural Resources Management at UPOU, and after 9 years, I found myself back in the UPLB campus for a PhD degree in Environmental Science, armed with a DOST scholarship, and a very unpopular research topic that made me wonder why I was awarded with a scholarship in the first place. I now welcome you to Season 3, my life in grad school. While studying organic agriculture, a friend of mine introduced me to the concept of permaculture design, a design science for creating sustainable systems. I personally thought that it was a brilliant concept and I can immediately contribute to healing our planet. But I was surprised to find out that the Philippines did not have any scientific research on this topic. By faith, I applied for the DOST scholarship program in 2016 with a dissertation proposal on permaculture design. I knew that it was a lesser-known topic and I was going to be in the fringes of academia, but I felt in my heart that someone had to do it. Plus, I had the full support of my academic advisor, Dr. Inocencio Buot Jr., since he was also very passionate about the topic. Only a few days after graduating from my master's degree, I stepped into my first class in CESAM. I still haven't recovered from the emotional high of graduating, and yet here I am once again subjecting myself to more pressure. Crazy as it may seem, somehow I felt comfortable and I knew that the university was going to be my platform for my advocacy and research, much like the guys from The Big Bang Theory. For me, school was always the best place to share ideas that can change the world. I came into the degree program as a practitioner, not as an academic like most of my classmates. At that time, I was still going to our on-campus farm, sketching farm designs and planting vegetables in between and after classes. Maybe some of you have been there. It's called the Galaxy Farm Away. From the get-go, I knew I was going to be the underdog with my non-academic background and research interest. So I decided to generate my own hype by telling other people about my research, much like how a musician self-promotes his own mixtape. But at the same time, I had the mindset of a sponge. I would just absorb everything I learned from my professors and classmates at CESAM, DevCom, and the College of Agriculture and Food Sciences, the 3 colleges where I took my subjects. I just approached everything with childlike wonder and saw myself as a blank slate. If I didn't understand something, I would be honest. If I am having a hard time, I will say it. I had some very challenging subjects as a PhD student, and I can say that my brain was pushed to its limits. Thankfully, I have my classmates to share the burden with. Before I started fieldwork for my dissertation, I posted a photo of the Fellowship of the Ring, the ragtag group of characters from Middle-earth in the movie The Lord of the Rings. In the caption, I wrote, "Me, my advisor, and my research assistants." The analogy was supposed to be a joke, probably a half-meant joke, but it certainly came true. We traveled all over the country and visited 12 research sites. The challenges we encountered were complex and very expensive. Thankfully, my research grant from CIRCA came at the right moment. And our donors from our Go Get Funding campaign allowed us to buy the equipment we needed, such as the Tello drone, which became a prominent tool in my research, with its own publication. I wasn't the best, I wasn't the smartest, but I knew where I was going. I needed to promote permaculture research. The objective was clear from the beginning, and my advisor made sure I didn't stray away from the goal. After a challenging year in the field, that was 2018, I thought to myself that this was probably the most memorable time in my grad school life. But my advisor wanted to challenge me and go a step further. He wanted me to present my findings on permaculture in the Landscape Ecology World Congress in Italy. And he wanted me to attend an intensive PhD course on landscape ecology to help me with my dissertation writing. At first, I was hesitant because I already wanted to write my dissertation, but he said that this was an opportunity of a lifetime to tell scientists about my topic. So I prayed and reflected about this big decision. Thankfully, I was awarded all 3 travel grants that I applied for, something that I never thought I would do in my life. My wife came with me to Italy, and coincidentally, the events coincided with my birthday and our wedding anniversary. I started my career as a barista, which is Italian for bartender, and I never would have imagined that becoming an environmental scientist would bring me to the heart of where it all started. I was in the birthplace of coffee culture. It went full circle. That's when I knew I was in the right place. As you can see, grad school is not just about hardship and challenges. It's also about having faith and believing that we can contribute something significant in this world. We're in grad school for a reason, and may that reason be the fire that burns in your heart. Personally, this decade is an exciting time to be an environmental scientist. The UN called it the decade of ecosystem restoration. We have less than a decade to restore our ecosystems and save this planet. We're still in a pandemic, but instead of worrying, I hope this challenge will motivate us to collectively step up as a people, regardless of our disciplines or backgrounds, and find eternal meaning and purpose in our existence. May our faith be greater than our fears. On behalf of my fellow graduates, the class of 2021, I would like to acknowledge the people who have been part of our grad school journey. Our partners in life, husbands, wives, and significant others. Thank you all for your love and support and being our source of inspiration. My wife, Kathy, I love you. To our parents, thank you always for believing and praying for us and helping us with our life choices in general. This victory of ours is for you. Rejoice and celebrate. To our families for being our sources of inspiration and support, especially these past few years. To our pets for being our comfort when we are sad. To our friends, close friends, best friends, thank you all for making us laugh. To our grad school classmates, even our undergraduate classmates, org mates, thank you for your patience and understanding. You have been our support system. To our advisors and advisory committee members, thank you for being patient and for being excellent mentors to us. We have been through a lot and we love you, even though we will not say it aloud. To our scholarships, thank you for taking a chance on us. We did our best. Thank you for giving us a shot to help our country. To DOST, SEI, and CIRCA for believing in my work and the scholarships that my fellow graduates have. To our research teams and assistants, thank you for your hard work and all your contributions. We appreciate it very much, even the little tasks. To our lab mates, thank you for being our families and giving us a home inside this campus. To the Plant Systematics Lab family, thank you for the good times and the coffee parties. To the people we met in our fieldwork, thank you for being part of our research. You are the real superstars. Thank you for your cooperation. To the permaculture practitioners who made my research work possible, I wish you more success in your endeavors. And I thank the UPLB Graduate School. Thank you for being patient with us. Thank you for helping us navigate grad school life. Oh, COVID-19, when will it end? Hopefully soon. We may not be able to foresee where we will be for the next 5 to 10 years, but we have every chance to do our very best today. Philippians 4:8 says, whatever is true, whatever is honorable, whatever is just, whatever is pure, whatever is lovely, and whatever is commendable, if there is any excellence, if there is anything worthy of praise, think about these things. We do our work, we do our research for God's glory. Thank you.